Matthew Stuckey here from Verity Baptist Church, Manila, providing you with another missionary update. And this past Sunday, we had 44 people in church, and we had 31 soul winners from our church out soul winning, and we had 126 salvations. Now, we had a few members from our church host soul winning events in southern Metro Manila and also in Pampanga, as well as our event in Quezon Memorial Circle. And so there was actually people that came to those soul winning events that, listen to the sermons online, and they're friends of ours, but don't come to our church on a regular basis. And so there's a lot more people involved in the soul winning, another dozen people probably, in addition to the 31 that went soul winning from our church. And so that's really great. And we had 126 salvations, which is great. We had 5 baptisms, and 2 of those baptisms were people from our church that were waiting to get baptized. Well, one person was in town visiting, then another person was a member of our church. Then we had 3 people baptized from our soul winning on Sundays. So we got them saved and baptized just an hour later. So that was exciting. Now our baptistry that we're going to be using, we're still working on. And so on Friday, my wife and I had bought a portable swimming pool type baptistry. And so this is really good though, because honestly, once we get our main baptistry fixed, we can use this one for soul winning events to bring along. And also if we do future church plants, or when we do future church plants, we could use that at least at the beginning. And so it's definitely wasn't a waste of money, and it wasn't honestly that expensive anyway, but we're excited to be able to baptize people, and we had 5 baptized. Now for the sermons, on Wednesday I preached through Psalms 3 and 4. And I preached through 2 chapters because they're both kind of short chapters. And some chapters in the Bible I'll spend multiple weeks on, and then other ones, if there isn't quite as much material, maybe I'll put multiple chapters into one, like I did with Psalms 3 and 4. And so kind of one of the themes though was that God does not remove our enemies from our life, but what he does is he's a shield to us. And so he never promises that you're going to have all your enemies removed, but what he does say is he's going to shield you from those enemies. And so the key is really whether or not you're living godly, because it doesn't matter if there's a million people pointing arrows at you, because if he's your shield, he's going to protect you from all of them. But if there's just one person pointing an arrow, then and God doesn't protect you, he doesn't shield you because you're living an ungodly life, then you're going to be destroyed. And so the key is really that we're living a godly life, which is what I talked about. And on Sunday, my first sermon in the morning, I preached the Calvinist versus the Christian. And so obviously you can tell from that title whether or not I believe Calvinists are Christians. And so Luke chapter 18 verses 10 through 14 with the publican and the Pharisee is really a great story that really kind of shows the Calvinists, because the Pharisee and the Calvinist line up perfectly. I mean, it's amazing how much they line up. And so I preached on that on Sunday morning. Then I finished my series on being a dissolver of doubts, basically how to dissolve doubts that we have in our life. That was a 5-part series. And so I'm looking forward to starting a few new series next week, and I have a lot of sermons that I'm looking at on my preaching calendar, and in the future I'm excited to preach about. So we're getting ready now. Basically, we're in our building, and most of the stuff is kind of calmed down. We still have a few more things to deal with this week and probably next week as well, but things are calmed down now, which is great, so we can focus more on the ministry. But we're getting excited for the Soul Winning Mega Marathon, and we're hosting 3 events, and we're hoping to kind of motivate other people in the Philippines to host events as well, or to help them out with that. And so things are going great at this church. Our new building is awesome. It's a great area, tons of residential. It's really a great area for potential growth. Our church is just excited about we've been blessed with a great place, and just excited to be serving the Lord together. And so continue to pray for our ministry, and things are going really well here, but honestly we have big plans in the future here in the Philippines, not just for our church, but for future church plants and things like that. And we're working towards that goal now by getting people trained and ready to go, and practicing preaching, and getting things lined up and structured and organized. And obviously we're still doing the work every single week though. So it's a great week. Continue to pray for us. Thank you, and God bless.